And so one of the important things when you talk about the Wealth Academy is that we have the business side where we run through a lot of advanced stuff. But what I've also unlocked over the years is that there's so much more to wealth building than just technical skills. And so we'll dive into that today. Miss Beverly, do you want to try it again? Greetings to you.
Greetings, Coach. Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Awesome.
Great.
Go ahead. How have you been? Yesterday, you attended yesterday's session. Questions, comments. Do you want me to go deeper on any topic before I go on into today's session? Hi, Sheila. Good to see you as well. I'm seeing my students coming. I'll bring them up. Go ahead, Miss Beverly.
No, so yesterday was the introduction from me as far as for the money challenge, because I had missed the original one from the beginning, but downloading the pages and all of the work that is required in order to do the 30-day challenge, which I think is great. And I love the way that you set it up, because you make sure that we do the work.
Yes. Listen, this inner work, nobody can do it for anybody, right? Yeah. Because you all have your context, you have your history, and you also have your destiny, you have your purpose, right? And so what I do is to equip, to give you the tools, to train you, to coach you, to guide you, to encourage you, to motivate you to do the work.
Yes.
Okay.
It's exciting.
Okay, that's it. Because this is very, very personal. This is very personal work. Okay. So yesterday we talked about the money, right? We've been talking about money. And yesterday, I released a resource that was extremely powerful. And what I did today, based on what Timothy, so there were questions yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Coming out of those questions, I revisited the emotional healing room where we talked about family of origin. And I realized, you know what? The workbook needs an upgrade. Okay. So what I released today is the expanded edition. Like, it's on steroids now, like much, much more powerful, more detailed. And so in a way, I want to cover that again because it's connected to what we did yesterday. So when we talk about family of origin, many people may not realize, and this is where awareness comes in and education and enlightenment comes in, is that we all carry the energetic makeup of our childhood memories, right? Your DNA, your vibrational frequency, your wealth history, the knowledge that you embody, your energetic disposition, your emotions and feelings. The family of origin is where you practice all of this, and this is where they are all formed, right? Your relationships, your attachment, your perspective, how you receive love, how you give love, how you form bonds with other people, right? All of it. In fact, your concept of money, it came from out of your family of origin. So what then happens is that, hi, Benedict, good evening, coach, thank you. Anybody that wants to come up and contribute or ask questions, you can just drop in the chat space, just say hi, and then request to come up, and I'll bring you up as well. So family of origin is where you are formed, is where your identity is built, is where your perception of the world is established. And by design, you don't deviate. You don't move away from that unless you start making different choices in life, unless you start reprogramming yourself. Okay? Train up a child in the way the child should grow. When the child is old, the child will not depart. Is that by design, you are not supposed to go off script. You are supposed to continue, right? Each generation continues the journey of the previous generation. And so DNA is passed on, identity is passed on, behaviors are passed on, energetic frequencies are passed on, how life is done, outlook on life, thoughts, all of those things are passed on to the next generation, and the next generation continues in that line. Pretty much you recreate the life you inherited, except unless you audit it, you assess it, and you make new choices to support your own reality. And let me quickly introduce something here for those who haven't taken the classes on quantum leap human design. The reason you have the power to make new choices is because you have a spiritual side, you have a soul, and you have a body. When we talk about spiritual awakening, when your spiritual side assesses, audits your soul energetic disposition, your emotions, your state of emotions, decisions, and you assess your body was given to you, DNA, all of that. When you make a decision, because in the space of your spiritual self is where your spiritual identity is, who you are, your relationship with God, okay? Your knowledge of your spiritual identity and the power God gives you. If you awake and you realize that the current programming, how you are currently behaving, what you are currently experiencing, right, is not up to par. When you realize at the spiritual side that you are more than this, that there is more for you, when you wake up and you upgrade in the spiritual side and you hear God telling you to go for higher, to go to the next level, to reach further than you are today, this is the moment you have to grow up. And the size of you that has to grow up is at the soul level. Emotionally, you have to grow up. At the intellectual level, you have to acquire more knowledge, more wisdom. And then physically, you see, your body is a container that receives thoughts, okay? And this is where emotions and feelings lie in, because those are your attachments. This is how you receive. Your body is the one that receives in the physical whatever you received in the spiritual. So I just gave that eye level. Let me ask if Miss Beverly still, please, let's engage. What are your thoughts with that before I go deeper into it?
So I'm glad that you reintroduced us to the family of origin, because what took place just in a couple of days, reading and going over my daily affirmations and asking myself questions around money, even though it wasn't feelings of family, but there still was some other emotions that still came up in that process. So it was like, oh, okay, you still have some stuff that you got to deal with, you know. So it's like, okay, we're getting deeper and deeper into really pulling out everything that you possibly can pull out. Ms. Chisholm and I, we are going to be accountability partners.
Wow.
In this process. So I'm just looking forward to it. It's great. So I'm
Okay.
really looking forward.
So awesome. Let me bring up some keywords. Okay. So emotional, okay, energetics, okay, frequency. My students already know this stuff, okay? So when we talk about emotional, or let me just say emotions, okay, what creates your emotions and what are your emotions? Another thing, when we talk about feelings, what creates your feelings, what are feelings, and what do they do, and what creates them? Because this is the secret of life, okay? Your emotions, definition is energy in motion. However, I go deeper when I teach this to help people understand that in the physical, in your body, the language of your body, the sensations, right, is sensational. You feel, you emote. The language of your body. Your mind is what interprets your sensations and also interprets your vibrations. Your vibrations is the internal disposition of your beliefs, your energetic frequency. So English, if you're an English speaker, when you think in English and when you speak, okay, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, is that what you are speaking in a language is the interpretation of an energetic state. It's also the interpretation of your sensational state. It's also the interpretation of your spiritual state, intuition. So the mind can listen to your body, can listen to your heart, your vibration, can listen to your spiritual self, and can download and upload, right? Is that the human mind, you learned language. When you came in as a baby still speaks, even though the baby has not learned ABCD 1, 2, 3 English. A baby vibrates. A baby has sensations. And the mom, the caregivers, their job is to tune themselves to try as best as possible, to interpret what a baby, a child is trying to communicate with the world. Just so you understand that this lives on, is that the nature of your being. I'm just using a child as an example. A baby, even though you've not trained the baby ABCD 1, 2, 3, the baby will try to communicate with you. I'm hungry, change my diaper, I'm sleepy. Because your being has sensations. You feel things, you emote, you have needs. Okay? You have energetic needs. Part of the training is the caregiver pays attention to the needs of the baby, and over time learns the sound, the sensation. Oh, is it food? Okay, are you sleepy? Okay, are you diaper? That is an example of something you still need to continue to do all through life, is that your being. You've got to learn how to use your mind to listen to your body, to listen to your heart, to listen to your spirit. That's also how you're going to know if you're hungry. You know, your being will signal to you, make noise or do things, sensate. Oh, and then you go, oh, it's time to eat. It's right. Is that the sensations, the things happening within your body, within your spirit, at your heart level? It is your job to pay attention, to listen to yourself. It's like if you're driving a car. Do you have gas? What's happening to your engine? What's happening to your tires? What is the dashboard saying? As the driver, it is your job to attempt to understand the state of your vehicle, and then whatever it is signaling to you that needs attention, it is also your job to give it the attention that it needs and it requires from you. If you want to be in an healthy state, if you want your car to be well tuned, somebody has to pay attention, somebody has to do something about it, somebody has to fix what needs to be fixed. You are, however, living in a world where this skill has not been taught. So most people are not emotionally mature. They are not fully emotionally developed, because emotional development is the skill you're going to develop to actually control your emotions and feelings, drive your emotions and feelings. Because when your spiritual power is coming to prosper, to do good works, to become whatever you want, it's going to pass your soul. And when people are asleep on the job or they don't have the skill, that power can be hijacked and sent to create negativity. Okay? Negativity. And part of what is also going on is that you have inherited all of the energetic vibrations, all of the emotions and feelings, the thoughts. You've been programmed by nature, nurture, culture. So you are vibrating, you are behaving, you are thinking in certain ways today because that's how you've been programmed to think. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. What you have to check in, this is why it's an audit. However, when you take a moment to listen to your own voice, what's going on inside? If you've not listened for a long time, and you are now trying to build a business, achieve more success, go higher, next level. Oh, listen, there are things in your past you've not paid attention to that will keep you in your past unless you deal with them. You can only go so far before the past drags you, because energetic attachment to old stories that are negative, they continue to repeat patterns. Okay? because they are your lived experiences, and they repeat and repeat and repeat. So as people are trying to do new things, whenever you want to do new things, when you find resistance, when you find opposing thoughts, right, negativity, right, taking your power back, keeping you in survival mode, this is the time you realize you need to do this work to uncover what haven't you dealt with, what haven't you resolved that you're still carrying around that is not going to help you go into the future. It's like the children of Israel. You can leave Egypt. Some people think, oh, they left this, they left that. But what you thought you left, you are carrying it inside you. The voices inside you. When the Egyptians were ready to take, right, the promised land, the sound came up. The sound they did not reconcile, identity issues. The way they saw themselves, what they believed about themselves, it got in the way of their promised land. So that's one of the reasons this is important. Okay? Okay, Miss Beverly, thoughts? I'm just still laying the foundation.
No, I'm ready, Coach.
Okay, so the entire workbook, the updated version is available in the emotional healing and money block, right, room, releasing the money block. So there are 4 workbooks in that room. And then there's also the grow your income, right? So there are many workbooks in my school. There's boundaries, there's value system, there are workbooks for business development, branding, marketing, sales, lead generation, storytelling, right? The Wealth Academy is the most sophisticated advanced training program for entrepreneurs in the world. So we have over 500 resources. And so you can subscribe and get into the rooms and start doing the work as well. So what we're talking about today is family of origin, psychological audit, and assessment. Okay. So why do you need this? I've explained that, but let me just share some of the things that the workbook covers. There are different sections, right? First of all, what I challenge you to do is just to own your stuff. Sit with your stuff. Many people are in avoidance mode, fight, flight, freeze. Their central nervous system is that they are running as fast as they want or they can, also culture. But I'm saying, what are you running away from? What are you running into? What energy is powering your activity? Because many times people don't want to face the truth of the life they are carrying around, their lived experiences, and they think, 5, 10, 20 years ago is at a distance. The concept of time, if I say something that happened 20 years ago, the mind has been conditioned by time to put a distance between you and time past. However, in the energetic space, okay, you form memories with energy. And that energy creates emotions and feelings. Right now, anything that you can remember all through your life that brought you pain, if your mind touches that memory, the feelings and emotions you experience when that thing happened will come alive immediately right now. You're going to experience it as if it is now. So in the energetic world, time and space, there's no distance. Everything is now. Everything is now. So you are carrying the memories from your past, because when you experience life in now. This moment is an experience for you, right? And so what you walk away with, the feelings and emotions and information you carry away from this moment, you will store it inside you and you move to the next moment. That's how you live life. Moments pass by and it's like you're just collecting information, emotions, feelings, and you're storing it in your system. And the next moment passed by and you collect. And the next day and you collect. And the next day and you collect. 365 days later, what have you collected? Okay? Right? After a full year of days have come and passed, every day you're collecting emotions and feelings, and you're storing information, and you're collecting energy, all of those things, and you're packing. It's like you're a shopping cart. Okay, what does today have for you? Where are you going today? What decisions would you make today? What would you think? Where are you going? What are you going to do? Everything you are doing every day, a record of it is kept inside you, right? All your engagements, and then the day passes and a new day comes and you collect, right? That's life. So at the end of the year, for example, you can assess your entire year simply by looking inside you. What have you collected? What energetic vibration did you collect? What information did you collect? Who did you become emotionally, physically, because of the journey you went through? You're on a journey of life, and you live life one day at a time, one moment at a time now. So in the energetic world, right, the computer you're carrying around that stores all of that information, you can open it, look at a date stamp, and then things can come rushing and you experience it now. So all of your past is inside you. The key though is that the patterns that continues to run your life subconsciously, energetically, that you don't like, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't happen again. In fact, both positive energy, negative energy, they create this as your creative potential. And so your reality is manifesting before your eyes based on what is inside you, what you have collected, what you have believed, what you are vibrating. And so you cannot live a higher life greater than what's inside you. Does that make sense? Or let me say it another way. Your past, you carry, when you wake up in the morning, what woke up in the morning? Yesterday woke up in the morning. Who you were before you slept, plus updates. So when you wake up into a morning, you carried all of your history into a morning, into today. So your past is here, you're presently now, and then the choices you will make now will create what's next. So the future is going to roll in, be created and manifested based on your past and the choices you're making now. So now is an opportunity to rewire yourself. If you want next and tomorrow, future, to not look like the past and the present, you must make new choices today. That's how it works. If you don't make any new choices, choices have already been made on your behalf, automatically copy over. Right? Automatically bring yesterday into today. If you don't make any new changes about today becomes tomorrow. Right? So your past becomes today becomes tomorrow, unless and except you make new choices. So this is about auditing your past, assessing what worked, what needs to be updated, and then making informed decision about what you're going to fix. And then also you might find out that things were not added. The life you now want, if you want to live something greater than your past, something bigger than your today, you also now have to find the delta, okay? And realize that who is responsible for filling in the gap? What was not put there? You see, they poured into your cup, but your cup is not full. When you find that your cup is not full, meaning you are living a larger life, you are building a bigger capacity, you want to do something they didn't do, who will load you up on power, knowledge, will, all of those things? It's you. So you also have to then say, okay, what am I responsible for adding? What are you going to subtract? What are you going to add? What are you going to keep? That's a mature decision. Did you want to say something, Miss Beverly? You good? Okay. No, this is when it's interactive, right? It goes deeper. You know, Timothy always asks questions and everything. So the first thing is for you to brace up. You see, there's something about this work that it requires courage, because your mind hides things from you if you don't grow up. It to make you feel like it's not there. It will show you what you're not ready for. That's why most people in this world, la 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 la, there's nothing, right? Everybody's doing la 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 la. We're spending money, we're just right. And then most people don't know they've disassociated. They're not living in their body. They are living psychologically, but their body is occupied with pain, with things they don't like. But they are functioning psychologically, but emotionally, the state of their heart is so heavy, right? But they are pushing it. And because of the weight, right, the mind then puts them in survival mode, which means it will take them into the barest minimum energy. They can't run fast. If they try to do this, it says no. If they try to do that, it says no, because there's no enough energy and power to be allocated to all of the things people want to do. Now, when people don't understand this, you know what they will now do? They will now start pushing their body more. You know what that creates? That's stress mode. That is what stress is. You are asking your body to produce what you have not given it the power and knowledge to produce. And so the body then goes into producing now more negative hormones. Because it's trying to say, listen, why are you pushing your car? There's no gas inside this car. Do the work, release more energy. So it takes courage. This work takes courage, right? So I'm going to just give a high level of some of the things covered, and then the link to the book on the landing page, you can see it. The first thing is just try to remember your childhood and what it felt like. And one of the things you have to notice with emotional processing is you're going to feel the negative before you feel the positive. Because the negative is an anomaly in life. It's like we were never designed to experience those negative. So your mind will flash the negative first. And then when you process the negative and you bring it to a place of peace, at that time, you start remembering a lot of your positive childhood stories. So a lot of times, the pain is what flashes back first, because that's the one that needs your attention. The positive one does not need your attention. It's for your enjoyment. And so it takes courage to face what didn't work, or what was not optimized, or the longing of your soul that was not met. That's the first thing you have to brace for, because it's going to, people, right? Here's the thing. We all are mature, right? We go to school. We are doing big things, corporate things, dressed up. So many people are in denial because we have been told we are living in a sophisticated life, an advanced society, right? Like, listen, you are wearing, you are dressed, you have your life together. Everything is so what happens is people think time makes those things go away. They don't go away. You are the one to make it go away. Your mind doesn't do this work. You are the one to courageously face and say, I'm done with that, close that chapter and move on. And so many people try to live the best life, not realizing they're still carrying things around that is inconsistent with the life they want to live, the life that they desire. Okay, Ms. Beverly, comments?
No, so Coach, when you say the negative comes more so than before the positive, I know we've talked about in the past of making sure that we take that is good, that is nurturing, that has sustained us or have given us the goodness of what our parents and those that nurtured us had to give us. And that way we can allow ourselves to let go of the negative thoughts and emotions and feelings that no longer serve us at this time in our life. So just building on that allows us to make sure that we're building something new as far as the steps that we're taking going forward.
Right. So think about you're pouring. Okay, you're pouring into your vessel. But what's there? Part of it needs to flush out. But you see this flush out, if it were automatic, all you have to do is pour. You see, as you're pouring, as you're learning more, as you're growing, as you're becoming more, you're growing bigger. The other exercises, what has been there that is sticky, that has spent 10, 20, 30 years forming a strong part of your personality. Right? You developed a personality because of what you suffered. But that personality is not helpful for your success for the next level. What do you do with that? So as you're developing the new you, new wine will not be poured in that old wine skin. What are you going to do with it? That old behavior, that old conclusion, what you used to believe, how you used to react. We need to bring it to closure one by one. Because where you're going, if something similar as what happened, right? If you've not developed the skill to deal with your past, and something similar you see in the world as you're going into new dimensions, if you don't retrain yourself, the mind reverts back to the same way you used to handle it. Yeah? Sorry?
Because of the familiarity that your body and mind and everything feels.
Because to build a behavior, the neural pathways, the nerves, the cells, the hormones, it's a whole concoction, it's a whole programming. It's not just one thing. It's a conclusion, it's a thinking pattern that then forms literally on your body neural pathways of what you would do, nerve endings that is charged with the energy, cells allocated to receive the emotions, to energize the situation, and to react and respond a certain way. And so a certain type of chemical composition hormone is also fed to those cells when they do those things. So how do you clean up all of them? First is you have to renounce. You have to decide that you no longer want it. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to identify it, you have to name it, and then you have to decide you are done with it, because you are the one to say you are done with it, and then to start unpacking and deleting it. Because if you are not done with it, it is not done with you. You are the one to say that's not going to be part of me. You know, a lot of people say, oh, that's just who I am. That's denial. That's also an indication that people don't have the skill to do this work. Hey, Timothy. Oh, Timothy is going to come with a load of... we know him. We know him. Oh, it's going to... Okay, Miss Sheila also typed. Let me quickly read what she typed. What happens when you make up your mind to do better? You are committed to the process and you start working towards it. Then all of a sudden, everything around starts falling apart, or unnecessary distractions come up, slowing down your progress that causes that. Listen, Miss Sheila, see, have you heard me talk about culture police? When you start purging, let me use that phrase, when you start deleting negativity, the reality that loved you in that state, you think they will just let you go like that? You think you just walk out of Egypt like that? No, that's why this is a package spiritual warfare. I just put packaging on spiritual warfare. This is well packaged, well designed workbooks, you see. But when all is said and done, you are fighting real battles for your soul. So that's why I say, if you don't tighten your seatbelt, if you are not serious with it, if you are not intentional, there are forces that want you to remain where you are and remain who you are, because in that current state, you cannot grow wealth. Your health, your well-being is under the control of those emotions and feelings. Your cells, the state of your cells, sin, right? The effect of sin, behavior that is opposition to God's will for your life. The enemy wants you to stay on that path. Many is that road that everybody, right? People are going in. This part of trying to go the narrow path of cleaning up and trying that road, there's a resist. It's like it's a fight. And part of what you are going to experience is, as you are trying to be a changed person, the old self will get, for some reason, this is energetic, right? For some reason, hear me, as you're trying to get rid of those things, for some reason, the people that were involved in that stuff, for whatever reason, they will pop in, because you're trying to get rid of their energy inside you. They will get a phone call, energetic phone call, because you're about to break a chain. For some reason, right? Abraham and Lot, when God is about to bless him, fights broke out. Do you understand? God may have been whispering to Abraham, leave this guy, leave this guy, leave this guy. The fight inside, once you start doing work inside you, as you start rearranging your state of the soul, right? Your decision, you start unpacking, removing back. The people who own that baggage, they will come for it. They will question you, right? Lot's people started fighting Abraham's people in the back end. It starts spiritual. When you start seeing fights in the physical, nothing just happens like that. And then Abraham took up and split. I bet you that Abraham took that wisdom from God on what he should do to separate Lot. He just told Lot, look, you pick. You listen, because Abraham is about to move on with his life. Just say, you pick. I'm not even listen. Just speak to your satisfaction, because you're about to go from me. This relationship will not exist the way it used to exist. So Lot picked Lot's, right? And you read this verse that few verses later, God then came to Abraham and then showed him a new direction. When you see Jonah entered, people started getting rid of things, right? Just to calm the storm. But the real person who came up with this storm, they had to toss him. He said, toss me. When you are ready to toss, after you toss, the storm will calm down. Some of you are carrying lots, you are carrying relationships, you are carrying things that the inside you, relationships. When you are about to toss, you say, "Boo!" When you finish tossing, peace. Yes, people who haven't spoken to you in years, all of a sudden, they will remember you, start calling, and not to uplift you, but to dump you. Of course, you are about to dump them, right? Sheila, come up and talk your talk. What is going on? What is going on? Okay? So, I'm trying to say it is normal. The pressure would intensify, but you then have to be more determined. It's a painful process. When God is about to give you breakthrough, give you power, elevate you. David, moments before he got all those things, right? Go and listen to the conversation he had. I think I've read it before to my students. His brother that he came to give food. Go and listen to the conversation there. This is moments away from breakthrough. His past, the way they used to talk to him, talk down at him, right? It came up again. Things he would have prayed about, from childhood, that does not go away. They came up again louder. I know this, but what did he do? He kept moving forward, moving towards destiny. Did he sit with them? Did he try to appease them? Did he try to make them happy with him? He kept moving towards his assignment. Moments away from his breakthrough, his past, his reality, with the voice and the hand they used to deal with him. He's loud. Hi, Timothy. Greetings.
Hi, Coach. Greetings. Warm greetings.
Yes. Did you see the notification? Listen, this morning I was just giving you guys notification.
I was like, where?
What is
You had a lot to share.
Yes, I was like, let me just put all these things out there. Let me get it off because that's why I love the school. It's easy to just move things into the cloud immediately. I don't have to wait. I just move it from my computer, upload. Whenever you are ready, download. Yeah?
So I have a question, and my question is connected to the other day. Well, I hope it's not that hot today, but let's see. So, detaching completely from an environment, from a zip code, completely. It's not like where we discussed last time, where you are still going to face the people that are there, but you literally need to detach completely. What would that journey look like for someone, especially with the whole relationships he has built? Yeah.
The first thing you need to know is that detachment, the only detachment that really, really changes anything is not physical detachment. Physical will help, right? So that at least the feelings, the energetic disposition is not that intensified. However, in this world system that God designed, no matter how far apart you are, as long as you're on planet Earth, you are still energetically connected and in relationship with people. Okay, so you can't run away. Okay, you can run away temporarily, but you see, eventually, Jacob still has to engage again with Esau. How many years later? And he still had to confront what he did generations before. He still had to pray. The prayer he didn't pray then, the forgiveness he didn't pray then. He still had to pray it as a full-grown man with wives, children, properties, wealth. He had to encounter. He first sent wife. He said, he sent servant. He said. Then he went back put his head on the stone and had to encounter God to fix the past, because he was about to confront his past. The past, he was still carrying it around. What he did and what he did to another person, right? He's still alive and well, even though there was a distance for many years. Okay, years later, now you are meeting again. That story, right? How do you bring it to place of peace? So you have to pray a new prayer for something that was how many years ago? So things don't go away, they fester. Even if you separate 10 years, 20, even 30 years, 40 years later, the day you see that person, right? So the reason I'm saying this is that the real lasting, most healthiest resolution is the one you do in your heart. The prayer you pray in your heart that God should set you free. Okay? The prayer you pray in your heart that God should forgive you. The prayer you pray that you forgive them. That one is the one that actually unravels and detaches you. That's what brings all those things at the DNA to a peaceful place. Okay, such that you can see people and be at peace with them. If you're at peace with them inside you, you'll be at peace with them externally. But if you haven't resolved it internally, you can be running everywhere in the world. You are carrying that story around you. So don't worry about just externals. There are times God will say externally, move away. But people can leave Egypt, but Egypt may not leave them alone. You see, they can physically move away, but I'm talking about the leftover thoughts and beliefs and identity issues that were imprinted on people because of who you were in relationship with or where you came from. That is that inner work that is the most important one, removing Egypt from inside you, thoughts that suppress you, thoughts that belittles you, thoughts that make you doubt yourself, make you be afraid, right? All of those thoughts, that is the one you resolve with God. Once you resolve it with God, you know what you even know? God will tell you what to do. That's why I said the negative always hides the answered prayers, because the pipeline that brings answered prayers, right? If the enemy clogs it for 20 years on a particular relationship, particular topic, it could be money, it could be wealth, that clog of negativity of what happened, if you don't delete them and resolve them, the everything God is like a backlog of answered prayer. That's why Bible will say, if you come to the church and you want to give offering, go and resolve your stuff first before you come and give in the church, so that even what you are giving will be useful. Because as God is trying to send you answer, you are praying, God is answering your prayer. He's answering your prayer, but your answered prayer, so that it will flow, so that you can receive. This is one of the reasons some people don't manifest in the physical form, is that God has heard all your prayer, but your relationships, okay, your unforgiveness, all of those things is the enemy uses it to stop you from receiving your blessings. That's why to receive your blessings, you have to remove all the clog, so that your blessings can flow and you can receive. So everything starts internally first. Talk to God about your environment, what's going on, and then that's where your answered prayer is. Yeah? Timothy?
Yes, Coach. Because our conversation yesterday, you said, make sure you pack enough power before you go and confront whatever it is. And I'm seeing the correlation with this. So if there's the internal cleansing has been done, still with knowledge and power, that when you are still in relationship with them, while you're in the transition to leave, you are able to confront those things. And you said something about withholding judgment, and being able to withhold judgment and forgive. So I can see how you can.
The first journey is for you to be whole. Many people rush out there and they start having conversation. They just injure themselves again. There's some conversations you are not ready to have. You just mess it up. The way you heal is that once you've done your own work, once you've cleansed, you will receive power. You'll be made whole. Balm of Gilead. Even you will feel more powerful to go and face what you couldn't face before. Do you know how many times David would have been hurt and by how his brothers talked to him? Right? Even when they came to anoint a king, his father left him in the, they didn't even consider him worthy of showing up before Samuel. Do you understand? But if you look at all the psalms, the songs, the things, when your father forsake you, that's why David processed his emotions before the Lord. He sang hymns. He spoke out what was going on. His father and mother forsook. When we said, but God will not forsake him. That's emotional processing. He brought it to a place of peace. Joseph had his own. Go and look at how he named his children. He processed his own emotions. That's how you move forward in life. Anybody that doesn't process their emotion, they get stuck. They can't receive blessings. They can't get promoted. They can't get to the heights of success. And the enemy knows that. He just wants you to be pissed off. He just wants you to be angry at what other people do. Because the moment you get into that place, you've locked up your own blessing. The pipeline God will use to bless you, you've blocked it with your anger, with your malice, with your unforgiveness. You did that to you. And the enemy helps people do that every day. And they never grow past that pain. But Joseph, the only reason he kept moving forward is he kept forgiving. He kept letting go, and he kept himself useful everywhere he found himself. He didn't blame anybody. He didn't accuse anybody. He just kept giving his best. Every condition life threw him in, he kept on showing up and learning and serving. He didn't get bitter. Bitter people don't advance. They get stuck in life. Bitterness corrupts the body. Yeah, they did it, but the cleansing is your job. If somebody comes to your house and makes a mess and they go, and you keep complaining, the mess is still there 20 years later, and you're still telling a story about the mess instead of cleaning the mess. That you did that to yourself. People can do things to you, but what is left over is what you will do about that mess, the mess they left. That's maturity. But you can keep complaining and talking about them. It doesn't clean up the mess. It doesn't clean up your, right, the energy they left behind, the words they left behind, the imprints they left on you, their fingerprints, their voice notes. Deleting it so that you can move higher in life. Joseph was catapulted. Yeah? Joseph was catapulted. Why? Because he kept on using God's word to process life's circumstances. He didn't get bitter. He got more useful. Joseph got more useful. He invested more in himself. He got skills to help people. He became more helpful. He kept doing greater things. And the greater things got him to his place of blessing. But if anybody has something to complain about, it should be Joseph. His own brothers and sisters, right? But let that story also encourage somebody. It's not what other people do. How do you let God heal you so that you can continue receiving favor from God? Because when you two become like them, you can't receive favor from God. And the enemy likes to separate people from God's blessing that way, including wealth and everything. Okay? Yeah? Okay, keep going. So, Timothy, have you downloaded the new, I submitted an expanded edition. Okay, is it coming back? Okay, I'll see if you downloaded it. But anyway, so the first session, like the previous edition, is understanding your family system. The workbook would challenge you to answer some questions, communication style, emotional environment, climate, power dynamics. Those are three important things. Who was empowered? Who was disempowered? Who was allowed to speak? Whose voice mattered most? Whose voice was robbed? Right? Whose emotions did people care about? Whose emotions did they not care about? Were you allowed to speak your truth without judgment? Did your emotions matter? Did people listen to you when you were upset? Did they try to appease you? Because family of origin is also where we learn true justice. When they are squabbled, well, it's part, how was it resolved? Okay, who resolved it? Who did you go to when you needed something addressed and resolved? Or did they just suppress and pretend like nothing went wrong? Did you feel justice was served? Did you feel your voice was heard? Did you feel valued? The first session will ask you to map what was happening in your family of origin, so that you can see it as you experience it through your child's eyes. Because now you are reparenting yourself. You're about to fix what wasn't fixed. If you were waiting for somebody to resolve this, somebody to treat you better, somebody to say, oh, why did they, and they didn't do it, that's fine. Well, you fix it now. Okay. Any comments on that? Communication style, emotional climate, power dynamic. Who was given power? Esau and Jacob. Who was given power? Who did the mother favor? Who did she scheme for? Who did she favor? What did she do to make sure the favor, right? What effect did he leave behind? Let's talk about that. Miss Beverly, Timothy. This is real stuff, by the way, because it persists. Because even Esau and Jacob, their mother was no longer in the picture. But how many years later? The dynamics she set up. How many years later? They both still had to then face each other and still have a conversation. Esau then said, oh, by the way, God has blessed me too. I have this, I have this, I have that. They still had to have the conversation without the mom, the scheming, right? Laban too scheming. This person scheming. Pattern! Inherited pattern. Yeah? Timothy, who wants to just speak? That's okay.
So, Coach, when
Miss Beverly.
Miss Beverly, please go.
Yes.
So, Coach, when you have been raised in a house where there's the mother and the grandmother.
Matriarchy.
Yeah, so you have
Matriarchy.
those dynamics that it was three of us, three siblings. The older was, how can I say? The older was the grandmother's push.
Favorite?
Yeah. I don't
A
want to say
guy?
favorite.
Was it a man?
It was the girl. So I don't want to say
Okay.
favorite, but I think more was maybe poured into it, maybe because she was the older.
Okay, so they invested more attention, more
Right,
time.
right.
Okay.
But then I came much later. So
Okay.
I'm the baby. So I'm more attention and maybe more time then with mom. So you have what's the word I'm looking for? You have a more dynamic as far as the older maybe wanting more control or have been given more control. So I don't want to say it was as favored, but you had that tug. So it's as if I had 3 moms. It was if I had 3 moms in one household, and all were directing in their own pathway.
Psychology, force,
Yes,
control, expectation.
yes, truly, it was that. I think by me being the youngest, my mom had went through 2 children, so I had a lot of more freedom. To
And the other one did not like the fact that you were free.
Yeah. You know, and so I think that had a lot to kind of
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, because one of the key things about this dynamic is that birth order, BIRTH, okay, birth order, whatever way you know my accent. Anyway, your birth order matters to your experiences in the family, and you may want to also assess the pro and the con of your birth order. When you're first, when you're in the middle, when you're last, each one has a positive and each one also has implication. So nobody escapes this. So as example, if you're the first, you might get more attention. Firstborn gets parentified quickly. Firstborn gets to be the third parent, given the power to exercise the will of the parent over the other siblings, given control, given responsibility. So on the outside, okay, people looking at the firstborn will say, oh, this person has more power, more. But what people may not realize is that the firstborn is carrying more weight. He's being pressured to produce, right? And to take on responsibility for protecting, for providing, for cooking, for caring. It's like they turn firstborn typically to the third parent, whether financially, emotionally, or even in labor. If the parent does not manage it positively, so for example, one of the ways to manage it, if you have a firstborn, is reward the firstborn for responsibility, like financial reward, like take the garbage out, and then make sure that they feel like they are earning something by doing that responsibility. When parents put their responsibility on the firstborn, but they don't reward the firstborn in a positive way, what the firstborn may do is the firstborn will take it out on the siblings with control. Because you are giving power to a small child, in a way, those things end up showing up sometimes as narcissism. Like when people grow older, is that some of the things parents do is they don't check, because they've given the firstborn control, they forget to check the behavior of the firstborn. So the firstborn may take out their frustration on the siblings and take out their anger, their frustration, everything, and their behavior gets unchecked. Because if the younger ones go and report or tell the parents, if the parents don't handle it with justice and get the firstborn to apologize and do the right thing, if they excuse the behavior of the firstborn, you can only imagine what type of human that person will become later in life. Somebody who gets their way, who do anything, who say anything, and still escapes. Nobody can touch them. That's why a lot of, if you see, there's this known saying that a lot of CEOs are firstborns because they were groomed to take responsibility, to take control, and just to be free and do anything they want to do, right? So there's pro and con. You have to manage it if you're a parent. There's positivity to it, but the negative side needs to be managed. If it is not managed, it goes unmanaged and becomes personality stuff later, right? If you are the last born, the pro is, listen, you are free. You are free from everything they gave the firstborn was responsible for. You can do anything you want to do. Nobody holds you responsible. Nobody, you are not accountable to nobody. You are free. Part of the con is you will be on the receiving end. You'll be on the receiving end of all of the frustrations of the siblings that was pressured to be taken care of. The sibling that was not free. Whatever upsets it will be on. For example, prodigal son. The one that took, the younger one took all the day and went to spend it. You see, the responsible one that stayed at home, that was watching, he had something to say. He said, I've been here. He didn't do a party for me. I've been loyal. He didn't do this for me. This one went to play, spent all the money. He did everything. He's coming back. You're throwing party for me. Right? There'll be frustration if you're the loyal one that is close to your father and mother, making them happy. And then you see all the young ones running all over the place, free, spending money, no response, not washing plates, not washing dishes. And you are the one doing everything. You will take it out somewhere. You will lash out one day. Okay? So it's part of life. You see, the middle, the middle also has pro and con. The middle can be here today, here tomorrow. Their personality is, if it's not watched, they don't have a strong personality because they always want to keep peace. They will go the path of peace. It has advantage because they will be the peacemaker in life. People will love them. Middle child, everybody loves middle children because they don't have any judgment to pass. They escape most of the top and the bottom. They just escape. They escape. But what happens is they might miss, middle child might miss some of the love, some of the tenderness, some of the care, right? They might be more detached in life, more solo, leave me alone, because pressure is coming here, pressure is coming here. If you don't want to handle the pressure, you just disappear. Middle people can just, you may not see them, they don't talk, they just be doing their own thing because they don't want to be in the middle of other people's stuff. So birth order shows up a lot. Okay, let's see, comments are coming. Let's see. More emotional, okay. Yeah. So yeah, birth order matters a lot. And there's pro and con because the younger ones will get a lot of benefit of care, love, like people would give you everything you need, you have everything, but you might lose your soul in the process because what you'll be asked to use to pay back all the favor you receive is some form of loyalty that robs you of your own identity. Oh, don't you know what we did for you? We did everything for you. We did everything for you. We sent you to school. We did this for you. The older siblings, I did this for you. Because all of the responsibilities she took, and she was parentified. All the things she did, she has a record of everything she did for you. And here you are ungrateful. That's the message, right? This younger ones, you are ungrateful because they expect you now to remain loyal and to remain small and to remain in the pretty box so that they can continue to handle you and control you. Because if you break free, they lose their hold on you. So in order for you not to break free, they will layer you with accusation. You didn't do this, you didn't do that, we did everything for you, and look at you, how you talk to us, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. What is the rescue for the middle born? Are you the middle born? Everybody come and fess up. What is the rescue for the middle-born, especially when they have disappeared for a long time, when they have eaten within themselves a lot? Listen, God uses it for your good. It's your good. It's for your good to disappear. Okay, now I'm not though. For example, middle child may be more intuitive. They know everything happening. They see everything happening. They sense everything happening. Yeah? They know more. Middle child knows. They are more caring. They know this. They know this. They know what everybody's feeling, because it's kind of like they're in the middle of the noise. Middle child can understand everybody. As this person is doing this, as this person is doing that, as this person is doing that. Middle child can actually, they have the skill of attending to the needs of people, because God uses this thing to prepare and nurture people in a unique way. But you have to learn how to let go of the negative side of it and see the positive, the strength you gained from your birth position. You see, there's some strength, there's something. Joseph got the coat of many colors, the love of his father. Is why? But it got him into hot soup. He didn't manage it well. You see, so managing it is really this muscle you have to develop. There's nothing wrong with it. You didn't determine your birth order. It's a gift from God. There's some birth orders that is to protect you. Okay, some of it is to develop you, because a lot of the things you're going to encounter, if you look at it very, very well, it prepares you for your future. Your skills are developed and formed in family of origin. But if you don't process the negative side of it and wash it away, people don't see the positive out of it. The positive is what you're going to use for life. It's already a gift inside you. Whether you're first, whether you're middle, whether you're the baby of the house, is that something miraculously powerful has been given to you that you're going to need for the rest of your life. However, the enemy can clothe it by unresolved things. If justice was not served, if you weren't attended to, if your soul fed this, listen, that's the stuff you need to work on, because there is beauty that comes out of that condition when you wash away the dirty stuff. The hand that they used to undo you. That's what I'm saying. Wash that away, because inside it is a precious gem that will serve you very, 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 very well in your future. Right? There's pro, there's con, but how to wash the other stuff away is what this is about. Okay? Because if you're the last born, listen, you received a lot of good. You also received a bunch of crap. That crap is what I'm saying. It's a very direct, crappy behavior, unchecked stuff. Listen, I get it. I get it. You may need to move away for some time, go and clean up and find yourself back, find your voice, find your identity, and they do it so quickly before you could speak, because before you could resist, before you could say no, before you could push back. And then if authority figures around you give unchecked power, who will defend you? Who's when they undo you, who will come to your rescue? God. Anyway, Miss Beverly, I hope that helped.
It did. A lot of clarity on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
you're right. You do have to, as you say, gain your power back. Even though it might have taken several years for that to take place. As I grew older, I was able to resist some things that might have been said or went on that I no longer hold. I love my siblings, and I know that at the time that they were doing what they thought might have been okay. So I'm good. I still, some things that you have to do, but yeah.
So the healing really is not that you weren't loved. The polarity is those who loved you may have hurt you. Those who hurt you may have loved you. You have to be able to hold those two things as true. The immature child behavior is, if they loved me, then they should have done this. If they loved you, then they shouldn't have done this. That's immaturity. growing to be able to handle life is, yes, they loved you. They didn't know better. Just because they hurt you does not mean they didn't love you. Just because they loved you didn't mean they didn't make mistakes. That's life. And so once you realize that, you can be more forgiving, you can be more appreciative for the good, and then you can be more forgiving for the ones they missed out. And then you can take responsibility for fixing yourself, refusing to still hold them responsible, still saying they must change. No, they are gone. They've done. Listen, you are grown now. Try reparenting yourself. Try taking responsibility. Try controlling yourself. Try, right, developing emotion. Do that for you. What they left undone, it is now you. Go spend the money to do the work to heal yourself. Quit blaming other people. They've done their best. They've moved on. In fact, when you heal, you might heal them. Do you understand? When you do this work, you might have more mercy, more appreciation, more gratitude for their own plight, because you, in their own condition, who knows if you would have done better? So that's why the Christian side of this handles this in a bit, because people can get bitter. No. Listen, when you do the work for you, invest in yourself, do the work. When you know, God, Jesus told Peter, after you've been strengthened, after you've recovered, what did he do to recover? After you have recovered, then use that strength. You will gain strength in your own recovery, that even when you now look at the people, you'll be like, you know what? In fact, they were fantastic. Listen, you can now look back and say, listen, I don't even know how you handled that pressure. I don't even know how you managed through. I don't even know, you did so well. You will give them their A and you will leave the rest. Instead of giving them F, that they failed you, you give them A, accolade, and say, listen, thank you for everything you did. I appreciate you so well. If you heal, after you heal, the sound that will come out of you is thank you and gratitude. Because you can now see them past all this noise of deal with that. Quiet. When you quiet it, you will see the hearts that they really loved you, and they were human. But until you clean that stuff, you can't see them for their humanity. You can't see them. You're just seeing the effect of their insecurities, their undeveloped side. You're seeing the other side of them. You're not seeing the side of them that really loved you, that protected you, that cared for you, that looked after you, that encouraged you. You can't see that through your pain. But once you heal, next thing you'll be saying is thank you. You even go and give them gifts. Yes, you will now thank them for all those years you couldn't thank them because you were still in pain. So who is going to heal you? Because those who don't do this work, this is what everybody has to assess. The people who need the work the most, that are suffering the most, they are the ones investing in it the least, because they are waiting for magic. That somebody else will come and do the cleanup. No, you will live in the life you produced and you invested in. It's like your house. The condition of your house, whether it is physical house, you are the one buying shoes, you know how you want, in your physical house, you're like, I want my house like this. Listen, pass that same psychology into your emotional soul level. Make sure your soul is well. Give it everything, just as you are decorating your house with chairs and the best things. Make sure your soul, you feed your soul, because soul food is real. When soul gets malnourished, the effect is worse than if you're fasting. Yeah, so that's my own thing. Is like, I've seen, like, the people who are suffering the most, you say, download this book. This is your tool. Do this work. Download this. Take time out. Do the work. And then they're waiting for magic, or they don't have a sense of urgency. Like, you see, that's also what happens in survival mode. People go numb, really numb, stuck. Fight, flight, fight. Fight is emotions of anger, jealousy, when people turn out, blaming other people. Okay, fight. Right? They say people can be stuck fighting, pushing back. Okay, flight. People can be stuck in avoidance mode. Because of pain, you avoid people. Because of pain, you don't have friends. Because of pain, you don't like people. Okay, because of pain, you're not marrying again. These things are real. Because of the past pain, now you're saying your future is going to be painful again. Why? It will only be painful if you don't reconcile and release the pain. It's like you know, when women have one baby, listen, you have number two, you have as many babies as you want, as long as you can let go. And nature has a way of stopping you from remembering, right? Nature has a way of just hiding and making you go again, right? I'm just trying to be funny here. So you keep loving people, you keep moving forward in life if you have the skill and you develop the skill and invest in yourself of healing your trauma, healing all those things. Like, and I'm very careful when I say trauma, because it's a skill. You see, some may need clinical help, right? But what I offer is, listen, every human at a minimum, maybe people didn't get the memo. This is a skill, just like brushing your teeth and showering. This is a skill that people ought to have been trained in childhood. That's the practice of self-expression, self-agency, being an independent thinker, having autonomy, being able to say no, you know, being respected, having self-love, self-respect. These were things that you were supposed to be developed with the help of parents and people who love you in the safety net. And so when you now go into life, you're more equipped. Because ultimately, Ms. Beverly, part of what humans are in search of is going from codependency to interdependency. Because everybody starts out being a dependent, okay? No power, right? No authority. Yeah, other people have authority, other people have power over your condition. When you grow and you get into teenager, they are supposed to release control a little bit, release authority, realizing that you have your own life to live. If they've done their job, they've equipped you, they're supposed to let you live your life independent of them. But usually, right, teenagers, you can't just give them full, right? So it's codependent. You go out, you come in, but you now have more leeway to make decisions by yourself. Nobody's interrupting you. You have a mind of your own. What usually happens is that many people don't mature out of codependency. That teenager emotional states, nobody gives them full control or full authority of self. Nobody gives them the due respect of a separate person, somebody that is separate of you. Do you understand? Like, what everybody needs and is looking for is when people can look at you as an individual, respect your voice, respect your person, allow you to be independent and not be trying to control you, because control creates codependency. It changes the power dynamic. One person has to be powerless, one person has to be powerful. So those who are powerful over you when you are dependent, if they want to maintain that power dynamics all through your life, you better run. Because psychologically, they will weaken you. You cannot be more successful than them energetically, because they are going to wield that power control forever. That's why many sibling arrangements, once Esau and Jacob has been rearranged with blessings, this will be greater than this for the rest of their life. It remains true unless you shift it, unless you regain yourself, unless you come back and say, you know what, I detach from the programming instituted that conditions this person to be here and you here. Particularly when you are the one here from childhood. Trust me, that programming does not change even if you are 50-year-old. They will financially be more successful. They will, because power was given here, power was stolen here. If you don't do this work and rebalance power so that you can run your own race, independence of this stuff, which was supposed to be given to you once you are 20, 18, 20, like you are supposed to, once you are once you can be seen not as an object of control, but an object of affection and endearment. If that hasn't fully happened, many people are still full grown in age, but they are stuck in the programming of their childhood. It's important because you need to do this work for your own wealth. Because if power is how you get wealth, if your power has been stolen by any condition or programming, you weaken how much wealth you can get simply by that institutionalized structure. You see, this person will continue to get rich. Everybody will be there. It's an energetic disposition, because the way you will become more successful and powerful, the way God wants you to, is you will go and get your own power. Independence. Because control makes you use your power to lift somebody else up, and it weighs your soul down. People pleasing. But you were coded and programmed to live your life pleasing somebody else and not to live your life for you. So part of what everybody is looking for is actually independence, to be fully a human by yourself, not dependent on anybody, and then to start having relationships that are interdependent. You are you, you are you, mutual love and respect. If you don't have mutual love and respect, if what you have is respect me, I don't respect you, you are like, that stuff is the ultimate. You are chopping pain and you are chopping disrespect, and they are saying you should respect them, but they don't respect you. That stuff will show up in your business. It will show up everywhere you go. It will repeat. It's a repeated pattern. You go to the office, boss will say respect me, they don't respect you. You go into marriage, husband will say respect me, but husband doesn't respect you. It's one of those patterns that repeat. Is that how you were treated in childhood? Are people mature enough to handle this real stuff? Okay, let me go and get the workbook. Let me just move on. Let me move on. When people are ready for the truth will show up. It will set you free. When you buy the truth, don't sell it. Buy wisdom, don't sell it. This workbook will rescue you completely. Okay, Timothy, thoughts? Looking at time. Oh, Timothy is not here. Oh, let's see. Sheila, Miss Sheila, go ahead, please. Miss Sheila? Okay. Do you want me to keep going? Okay. Keep going. Another thing that this workbook will help you do is what I call unpacking your attachment patterns. This is how you build relationship. So the relationship you establish in your childhood, how you relate to people, it forms a pattern of future relationships. Spouse, how you pick who you're going to marry, is very heavily influenced by how you did life in your family of origin. Energetically, you're going to get attached to people that complete your love story. The love you didn't receive and the one you didn't receive, the soul is searching. The soul is searching for people to give them what they didn't get and to sustain what they got. So people will remind you of what love felt like. You will love them. And then those who will help you resolve what you didn't like, okay, you will be searching for somebody to give you what they didn't give you, and then to give you what felt right. Where people get into funky business is when they make choices out of third dimension, materialistic. I want somebody that can buy me car, buy me this, buy me this. Usually that is also even a trauma bond, because if you were fully financially taken care of in childhood, that would not be your selection criteria. Like what you got in your childhood is in your mind is a given. Like if you were financially successful, if your parents were financially independent, in life, you will not be searching for, you already have that encoding, energetic encoding. You believe in yourself and you know money flows. It is people who have coming out of lack or something. There's a story somewhere there that psychologically is like, listen, I'm looking for financial safety. People who didn't have financial safety will be seeking, and they'll be looking for somebody, a spouse, that will close that gap for them, right? So when you start making primary decision based on avoidance, it gets quite funky versus alignment. If you hook up, just using that phrase, if you engage with somebody out of alignment, meaning who do we share common values with? Okay, common values. Okay, that relationship would stand stronger because it's built on similarities. When people build relationship based on differences, you are coming from this place. I'm saying you are trying to run away from your childhood and you want to attach to something that looks completely different from your childhood. That will shock you, because the other thing that it comes with will shock. The person did not anticipate all of the other baggage they will have to deal with. They were trying to bond. They were trying to use that person to bond based on need. They will form another codependence relationship, and it will not be healthy, because the need you are carrying from your childhood, if you make it your spouse's responsibility to fulfill the need your parents didn't fulfill, you attach to that person, you become a needy person, and you suck that person, and you are giving that person control to run your life again. So relationship gets more healthier when you are attaching and connecting with people based on common ground, because that common ground will stand the test of time. You build it out of friendship, similarities, similar disposition, spiritual understanding. If you build relationship based on common ground, because you are not about to fully change. Most people don't fully change. The side of you that won't change that you like, and the side of them that they like, that is a stronger bond. Because it's not neediness, you are secured. It's a secured relationship. You're secured here, you're secured here, you come together more secured. All the other stuff, you will resolve it. But if you join with people the other way, it's one of those, you don't know what else you're going to get. So watch out for that. So attachment patterns, how did you attach, secure? Right, so the workbook covers all these things: communication skills, emotional expression. How do you speak? Do you speak your mind? Do you speak your truth? Do you speak with courage and you feel people listen? Listen, if you didn't get that in childhood, if you don't fix it in adulthood, it's still not resolved. You're still muted. Your voice, right? Identifying core beliefs, values, they were formed in childhood. Okay. Now, also section 5, breaking generational patterns. It takes you into like this scarcity, avoidance, emotional suppression. How do you break out of that? What survival strategies did you develop that your childhood, you developed as a child, but as an adult, you are bigger than that? You know, a lot of, passive aggressiveness, they come from, childhood where you couldn't really speak it clearly, but you have to still jab them. And so people are still doing that today. Meanwhile, it's signs of immaturity, emotional immaturity. Recognizing strengths and challenges, acknowledge strengths you developed. It will walk you through all of those things. So yeah, part of when people don't do this work, the symptoms is that invisible ceilings. You try this, is not working. You do this, it's not working. Why? It's either you're missing the programming, you're missing something, or there's something there that is preventing you from attracting what you want to attract. Experiencing burnout, you're pressuring your body to do all the work, but you don't believe you deserve it. You don't believe it's coming to you. You are right, doubt, fear, but you're like brute force. When people try to do brute force, no, life is not supposed to be by brute force. There are moments when you are charging forward, but it will help if you are in a flow state where you are energized successfully, right? So repeat, okay, this one is huge. When you find yourself attracting in relationships that are unhelpful, relational, like friendships. It's a mirror. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. Listen, you start repeating patterns of friendship. If you struggle to receive from other people, somebody gave you a gift, but you don't know how to receive it. Money is coming. How would you receive money? Come. Then if you remain in survival mode and you feel like something is making you shrink, and you know inside you are bigger, but externally, because the world cannot see what you don't have inside you. The world only responds to you and treats you based on what is inside you. So if you don't install greatness, courage, abundance inside you, you can't produce it. When I say you can't, I'm not trying to say you can. I'm saying the way the laws work is that you produce, you're the one who bets, you showcase it's inside out, not outside in. You can only receive externally what you believe you deserve. What you believe is what you're going to feel, is what you're going to receive, right? And my students know the Quantum Leap Human Design, the workbooks that teaches 4th, 5th, 3rd dimension laws that govern wealth, success, relationship. Because wealth is built on relationship, just so you know, right? Money goes from people to people. So the moment you have issues, you don't have relational people skills, one of the ways that is going to show up is in your money. Because you attract people have to be attracted to you. People have to like you. You have to like them. People have to love you. You have to love them. You have to work on your human dynamics, right? You have to develop those skills, because it's people who like you and love you and want to be around you that will still do business with you. If people don't like you, listen, you are not attracting them. It's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you don't jive, right? Energetically, there's no connectivity, because humans connect energetically and then we reason psychologically. Before you can start speaking to people, there must be heart-to-heart connection. Okay, let me just put that there, answer more questions, and then invite you, for those who haven't taken the workbook, tons of resources. You can obviously enroll to the entire academy. I recommend that. It's the biggest bang for your buck, over 500 resources over the years. And you can also access individual, right, workbooks. So that's why I go between offering individuals, those who don't want the entire school, you just want to do inner work, you want to do emotional healing, you want money blog, this, you want to learn self-mastery. Okay, come in, do that work individually. And then for my students, because of the different things we're doing, like this session is like unplanned. I just show up, I just teach my student. Today I left it open, but right, their own commitment is they invest at least a year, and then everything, I just start slapping. When I say slapping, I start throwing goodies. It's like, what do they call piñata? Right? You smack the candy, and smack, bam! And then so the academy is like that. All the goodies start coming out. Like, you don't even know, like, today is this. So I'm constantly like sending the best things, the way of my students. So okay, good. I'll bring back Miss Sheila and then we'll wrap up today. Anybody wants to introduce themselves, come up, ask questions. Let me know. Looking at this. Hi. Okay, good. Miss Beverly, your wrap up or your questions, and then.
No, I'm good. I'm good, Coach. I've downloaded the workbook, but I'm going to.
The new one, right? The updated one.
I like to have something in my hand. So, with addition to the 30-day money block challenge, that's going to be phenomenal. So, I'm looking forward to both of those.
Yes. Listen, this thing is this is it. Anybody that does, juicy. Anybody that gets clear with this thing, that's it. That's it. You set yourself free. Because I released the resource today, right, article where I talked about financial freedom is built on emotional freedom.
Yes. And you feel it.
You got that, right? Because I wrote it, I was saying, if people would just get this thing, if you are not emotionally free, you don't master your feelings and emotions, you are living under the control of money. The society uses money to control people. It is because of money that you are here, you are there, and then people psychologically, you'll be vibrating. People who breathe, I know I should do this, but money, but this. That is because your emotions is attached to money, and money is controlling your emotions. Because on the journey of, go on.
And you know what happened? So once I started going through the money block and reading the 30-day challenge questions, it was like, okay, once I read the questions and started to think about and answer it, it was like,
Miss Beverly, I've been meaning to ask you. You have a testimony, financial testimony. The other day you were dropping thank you coins. Tell me, you have a testimony.
I'm not ready, but
you're not ready, but you are ready. You were dropping me extra. I said,
yeah, but that was you.
I was like, thank you.
Listen, it was so phenomenal. It was like God said, okay, that you were supposed to pay for that. You can't afford to pay what you needed to pay, but you had to pay for that. So
you know what people don't know? What God will first put in your hand is your seed. Yeah. People are looking for harvest. People may not realize spiritually, God will first give you a seed.
He did. It's like
He will give you a seed. When you sow it, expect your harvest.
Yeah.
So when people see what is in people's hand is not enough anyway. God knows that. But He wants you to open a door in your heart for receiving, to get ready to receive. Only a sower will be expectant. People who don't sow, you're not expecting nothing. You're in survival mode.
Yeah.
Energetically,
yeah.
The only way you go from survival mode is you open your heart and you release energy. You come alive. You go out. The way you run out of survival, hibernation, is like you show that you're still alive, that you're still breathing. That energy can still come out of you. You can still do good things. You can still be generous. You can still do what God wants you to do upon the earth. That's the only way you break out of survival. You give energy. You give something out of your hand. Because once you do that, your system starts working again. You signal that you are alive and that you are ready to contribute to society. So what is already in people's hand is their seed. And as long as you hold on to your seed, is anything going to change?
Nothing.
And you know this world you are living in, even that seed, things come for that seed. Bills come for that seed. Right? So don't worry. That seed is also
God made
You say it's a seed.
So
that seed, something is coming. You say that destiny comes for your seed.
Yeah.
Or survival will come for it. Eventually it shrinks. Just so people know. God will always release a seed. Seed to the sower. Bread to the eater. The day you say you want more harvest, one of the things you must learn to practice is to release your seed that God wants to multiply. And you need to learn which land will multiply it, because not every soil will multiply it for you. You see, the biggest, best way to multiply your seed is when people say invest in yourself. These words, when people understand the spiritual implication, I explained it the other day. I said, for you to grow wealth, how much wealth you can grow is going to be, number one, what God puts in you, and then you put in you. God is your first investor in this spiritual investor. Will give you power. Listen, will give himself his spirit. Everything that you have, God gave you everything. Even you, God gave you you. You didn't give yourself nothing. Even you were created by God. So you too, you are property of God. So God will invest everything in you. Based on God's investment, it's like 401k. employer will double, will bless what you now put in you. So when God puts in you, you don't put in you. What is going on? God also wants an harvest from you. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it. Your own fruitfulness. That's why I said the first place is you are the seed of God's greatness. You are the seed of God's greatness upon the earth. God wants you to be great. He puts in you the seed of greatness. If you refuse to nurture and feed your own greatness, will you be great? Your own greatness depends on you 100%. You see, your own greatness upon the earth. And greatness, the way I want you to see greatness, to become all that God has divinely appointed you to become, so that nobody is comparing. If there's a mango seed, for that mango to be all that it was intended to be, when it is planted, the tree of a mango will produce more fruit. That multiplication, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. There are two things that Genesis is saying. First, bear one fruit. Then to multiply that fruit, you must reinvest it. Some people can bear fruit, go to your workplace, you are fruitful. But this principle of multiplication, you will take that and put it again, because the first fruit, the first production, you eat it, everything is right. To put that one by faith, except a grain falls to the ground. What is inside that first fruit that needs to come out into a tree? If you don't replant it, you don't multiply. So some people can be fruitful, but they may not be multiplying. Because the mindset of multiplication is that you must yield what is in your hands because of what it can become in the future, not what it is today. Who you can become in the future is what you invest into. If all you are seeing is who you are today, and you are using who you are today, your bank account today, to determine your future, nothing changes. You'll just be seeing one fruit. And I'm saying even that one fruit, Bible says, he who has, more will be given to them. He who does not have, what they have will be taken. Meaning, it's a play on words. How can what you have be taken when you don't have? It is that when you refuse to acknowledge what God has endowed you with, when you refuse to see what God has put inside you, when you refuse to acknowledge the blessing of God upon your life, when you refuse to say, to know that you are blessed, and you start saying negative things about yourself, you see, that negativity will turn on you. I don't have this, I don't have, it turns, you prophesy, because you will eat the fruits of your mouth. Do you understand how these scriptures connect? The moment you turn negative, and out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth is speaking. You put negativity inside your heart. You start speaking it over your life. You've just entrapped, and it's like tying yourself in it. That's bondage, pure bondage. People weaving their energy, weaving themselves, tying themselves. Because the Bible says you will eat the fruit of your mouth. What have your mouth been saying over your life? Because that is the tightness you are feeling. So they become tighter. The nervous system will be like, release the money. Which money? Why? Because negativity, they've wrapped negativity around their life. And so Bible says even what such a person has will go away. It will be taken. Because negativity steals success. Anytime you attach negativity to yourself, to other people, to anything, that thing disappears. It gets lost. Right? That's why it's a discipline to be doing what God wants you to do. It's a discipline. You're going to live a disciplined life when you understand the spiritual principles. First of all, your mouth, you be careful with your mouth. You be careful with your thoughts. You be careful with your beliefs. The moment you realize they are the seed that produces your life. You're the one producing what's in your mouth. You're feeding your mind. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, and so when your life starts going, they go in the direction of your vibration. Oh, men are this, women are this, the government is this, and then everything will be vibrating. Drama, I'm dramatizing.
It's true.
Your body dances to the tune of your vibration.
Yes, it does.
You're the one giving your body vibration. And your body will hey, something is this. Hey. All of those vibrations, where did it come from? Inside you. Nobody did anything to you. It's inside you.
Thank you, Coach.
So your God will give you a seed. You are supposed to bear fruit. And when you bear fruit, it also says multiply. What is multiplication? That fruit must multiply. What process has God put in place to multiply fruits? Sowing and reaping. That's a spiritual principle. The ground has been this. You did not create the ground. You see, you didn't create the ground.
Right.
But the ground follows the rule. Sow, water, and then you say, Lord, bring the increase. Do you know how does a farmer know how a seed turns into? No. You didn't create it, but God has laws for what he has created. And by the way, let me share a secret. Your body follows the same sowing and reaping rule. Whatever you do, more will be done to you. You see, your feelings is your investment, is what you are doing in this world. And whatever you are feeling and doing, you're inviting people to come and do to you. That's why a business owner will do good things. You'll be so generous because that's how you multiply your blessings. If God wants to bless you, if God wants to multiply you, the first thing he will tell you to be doing is to be generous. Because there are rules of how you relate to God. There's rules of how you relate inside you. There's rule of how you relate with other people. There's rule of how you relate with time, other created things. There's different rules. So Christians can pray. God, you find favor with God. Jesus, though, Bible says he found favor not just with God. You're also supposed to find favor with man. So when Christians find favor with God, they go to church, they pray, oh, Lord, love God, love. Yes. But the person sitting next to them, they don't say hello in church. They don't say hi. They don't appreciate people. They're like, leave me alone. Who will give you the money? It's in planet Earth that they print money. You see, it is humans that are giving each other money. Do you understand? Yes. It is humans that are buying and selling. God will give you the idea. He will give you increase. One of the secrets he will unlock to you is be good to people so that they can be good to you back. In fact, the most successful people, they throw parties. When I throw party, listen, because you will invite people, you will feed, you will do good things. I put it yesterday. Okay, I didn't post it. You see, I always drop a lot of things in the school. I typed a scripture. I typed it out. Then I went to do other things. I said, I've already sent so much today. Let me leave it. So I backed out. But that scripture talked about Cornelius. Last night, I was going to tell the students, like, right? When Peter was sent to him, right? You know that story. There's a scripture there that was saying, like, God has answered your prayers. He has seen, I think, your generosity to the poor. Yeah, I copied it. I pasted it. I typed some things. I was on my bed. I said, I've already posted so much today. Let me leave these people alone. So I didn't post it. I didn't share it. But here am I sharing it. There was a scripture I was quoting. It says, Cornelius, God has answered your prayers. He has remembered your gift to the poor. So some prayers can be answered simply by generosity. What you do to the least. There are some things that can be done for you spiritually by God. Solomon, he made sacrifices. He got God's attention. Just so everybody know, you can be Christian and everything. But to attract God's favor, you know one of the ways you're going to attract God's favor? What you are going to do to God's people, for God's people. Humans. What you're going to do for other humans. Because God is in every other human. Jesus said, whatever you do to the least of my brethren, that is what you're doing to me. So when you start touching humans and encouraging humans, guess who is happy with you? God. Guess who else is happy? Other humans. They will be telling each other, come. So principles of wealth and success, they are spiritual. So people who don't give, people who are not generous, people who don't give gifts, they don't say thank you. They don't buy, they don't nurture themselves, because those rules are, number one, God will invest in you, you will invest in yourself. Then when you invest in yourself, you will grow and multiply what God has put inside you. Inside you, you will open according to the power of God inside you. You see, you use knowledge and power, you will grow your inside. You increase in vibration. What you will now do is you will use that, the investment God made in you and the investment you have made in yourself, okay? You will now use that to produce and give something to the world. Product, services, skill. Because that's what you are going to give to humans, because you want humans to give to you, right? Everybody wants humans to give them money. Give them this, promotion. Everything you are looking for success is in the hand of humans. Money, promotion, elevation. All of these things you are looking for, everything you are looking for is in the hands of a human being. So by definition, you want humans to favor you and to give you nice things. Yes? But this is how you're going to do it. You would first give. That's also the principle of sowing and reaping. You want harvest from humans. Humans don't know you. If they don't know you, if you're not giving to them, the only humans you will get their attention are humans you're serving. So God will give you something that you will use to serve the world. And so you will produce, you will use what God has given you and what you have invested in yourself to produce output. You must release an output. Now, creating something valuable for the world. The third aspect of wealth and success is humans must see the value, must find it useful, must believe it can improve their life. Out of that, you will transact. You must be attractive. How are you attractive? There must be desirability for the things you have produced. That's why in business, you will brand, you will market, you will sell. Why? You are trying to get the attention. After you have built something incredibly powerful for people, don't stop there. Invite people. Come and taste and see that the Lord is good. You will be dancing around and say, come and taste, come and taste, come and taste. Here is a piece of taste. Taste this. And then you say, okay, if you like it, there's more. There's more value. To change your life, to change your destiny, to change this, then you market, you sell. That's it. That's the process for wealth. You break that process along the journey. God gave you something, you didn't invest in yourself. You don't give to other people. Other people don't see you. People stay in their place and they say, oh, no, this you better get into the marketplace and start doing this work. So it's not that God doesn't bless people. God blesses you abundantly. The key is, what are you doing with his blessings? How are you talking to each other? What are you doing with one another? It says, this is opening us to throw goodies too. Yes, throw goodies. If I throw good, that's part of the principle. If I throw goodies at you, I'm teaching, I'm doing, I'm vibrating, and people are sitting back and not throwing back at me. Do you know what happens? Their own vessel is not open. Because this way, the way it's open, this is the cycle. This is what builds economy. You receive, you give. You receive, you give. You receive, you give. You receive, you give. If you find a community that follows this principle, that will be the wealthiest community in the world. People are nice and generous with one another, constantly celebrating one another, constantly being good with one another, constantly loving one another. That is a prosperous place. Do you understand? You find another community, they don't, no, there's nothing there. Nobody can make money there. These are the rules. This is what governs nations. The moment a nation turns negative, the next thing is their money will dry up. That's how it might take time, but the direction of negativity is like this. And if you want to go higher, listen, you will form community, give is reciprocity. Anybody that takes, but doesn't give, they've broken the chain of the flow of the energy of wealth. Okay, that's a 5 minutes call. Okay, I'm seeing the 5 minutes call. Anybody else? Who else? Oh, Miss Chisom, I didn't know you were there. 5 minutes call, I'm wrapping up. Who else wants to say something? Thank you, guys. Those who visited. Sheila, did you want to say something? I'm closing out now. You like this? So everybody get into the room, download the workbooks, get to do the work, print it. I always recommend print it out. Listen, bunch of stuff. I recommend you print it out. And then on your bed, get paper and just, in fact, some of it, when I take note, then I go and edit and update it, right? So I put notes on, maybe if you just find it nice, like I print a lot, so you need just, whew, okay. I also at this end of the day. Usually I do it in the mornings, but it's okay. Miss Sheila, you want to say something? Miss Beverly, Timothy, Miss Chisholm. Oh, did I not invite you? Or did you cancel? What am I? Okay, good. It's the end of the day. Everybody good? So do the work, send me questions. I know Timothy has started the Business School Entrepreneurs Academy. I want you to do all this inner work so that when you go into the Entrepreneurs Academy, you're like, sharp, sharp. Miss Chisholm, I hear you, and Miss Beverly, you're like, anyway. Thanks, coach. As network issue. Oh, okay, YouTube. Okay, good, no problem. Miss Chisholm, over to you.
Yeah, I was just saying, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was just saying that I'll be driving soon, and I do know that this will be closing very soon, but I'm going to be listening to the replay. I already downloaded the workbooks from yesterday, and already excited.
There's a new one today. There's an update today.
Today, okay.
So yesterday, what the questions people asked yesterday made me go back to the family of origin, and I realized, you know what, I need to improve. I need to add on more. So I left the old one, but I created an expanded edition that is like 10x. It's more robust, like something pages. So you go deeper on that. I know you've done probably the first one, but this one is like next level. So I send that out.
Thank you. Let me see. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to be working on that. I have plenty of assignments.
Yes.
Oh, God is good. God is good.
Oh.
Good evening, everyone. Let me acknowledge everyone. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like I have my sleep. Everybody roll up your, like, this work is so serious. It's just so serious. Okay.
It's good. It's good work. It's hard work. It's courageous work, but it's good work because I see the light. Thank you.
Yeah, because once we do our part, God is already doing his part. God is committed. You see, that's one of the things. Let me say that on behalf of God too.
And then the other
Mhm.
thing I noticed, and that I've been giving myself some more grace, is when I keep thinking that I can do this on my own power and strength, I have to like acknowledge, okay, this is what I can do, and then like, hey God, I need some help here in this area, in that area, because that's been the one thing that has been much more, that's kind of helped me a lot. So
let me tackle that immediately. That thing is pride in disguise.
Yes.
Because let me say, no, because we don't mean to. You see, there are many things we're involved in that the moment we see it, we'll drop it. Can a farmer really do anything other than sow and manage and look after what he sowed? Because when we were sent to school, this school made people feel like they knew everything, that there was nothing else to learn. After you have biology, chemistry, and then you get your degree, they send you out into the world, also giving you a make-believe that you are the source of all intelligence going forward. That's one of the weak parts of this intellectualism. Right? Not being taught to honor God, the source of all power and intelligence. So what can the farmer produce without honoring the law? To water, to weed. Farmers, people who build things with their hand, they honor the laws of God much more than, right, other people, right? So whenever you move from entrepreneurship, employee mindset into entrepreneurship forces you to honor spiritual laws, right? Because it's the highest expression of human creativity and productivity. You are going to use what God has put inside you to produce wealth and success if you're an entrepreneur. And so you have to go back to source, God, right? Your ideas, your creativity is you using yourself, using what God has given you to produce in the world. So there's no entrepreneur that is not spiritually activated. There's no entrepreneur, right? Miss Chisholm, apologies, I had to restart, and then I restarted, then nobody showed up, then I restarted again. So I was saying that the moment you cross over from employee mindset to entrepreneur's mindset, and every entrepreneur has to be spiritually activated, because you're about to be creative, you're about to release ideas, you're going to use your will, you're going to use the force of your spirit to do things in the world. But employees, somebody tells you what to do and you do it, you obey. But entrepreneurs generate ideas inside out. Entrepreneurs create, entrepreneurs produce, right? And so entrepreneurs have to awaken spiritually. That process awakens you because you have to actually honor God on that process. There's no entrepreneur that goes this journey that is not spiritually awakened, right? Christians will be awakened to God. Other people are awakened to other things. But you will listen, you will learn, you will download ideas. Creativity is a download, spiritual download. Innovation, as long as you are doing something that has not been done before, you will receive ideas from God. You will. And what you do with that idea, what you produce with it, that's based on your own investment in yourself and what you're going to do for the world, and then the world rewards you. Everybody wants the reward, but the work that will get you the reward is what this is all about. So farmers, right? What can a farmer really do? All that the farmer is doing is obeying laws and respecting what God has put in place. If you want to sow a corn, you have to respect the life of the corn. When do you sow it? What does the corn like? Where do you sow it? What type of ground? How long will it take to yield? The farmer has to learn how corn behaves. You can't say, oh, you sow it today, next week you come and take it. No, you cannot. Farmer has to respect, right, what was put inside the corn. If you mishandle the corn misbehaves. You put it in the wrong ground. You want cassava, it likes to be put in a mold. If you put it flat, So part of the duty of a farmer is to learn. You first learn what does corn like? What do you have to do to the corn that will help it multiply? Money is the same. You have to say, okay, money, how does it move? What does it like? Whose hands is it in? So anybody that doesn't want to learn how things move, how currents move, how energy, right, how humans behave, then everything is random. You see, people who live random lives. But if you want consistent harvest, you will learn the rhythms of life. You will learn so many things, and then you will work within the condition of knowledge. You acquire knowledge about how that world behaves because you want to do things in that world. And if you want those things to be positive, you have to learn positive knowledge about how to create positivity. So when people are roaming in the world, making assumptions, not learning, well, you get what you get. That's random. But consistency is only done by principles and standards. Okay, that's it. I just came to make sure I finished that thought. Miss Chisholm, awesome, good. Any other thoughts or question?
For me right now, I don't have that much question except to get back into the workbook, the expanded workbook, and just do some work. The other thing I do want to mention is there any way that for now, while one is getting on their feet, to have a blend of both the employee and the entrepreneurship? Because I do see that, okay, you work as an employee, but within that you've broken free, you're thinking differently. At the same time, while you put things, as in set things up, thinking as an entrepreneur, while you're still working for others, but using that as a platform to grow and become more within yourself. That's how I see it. It's not just what they give me, what I get from the office, but what I'm also giving back and how I'm growing in my capacity. That's what I see.
If you want to grow and practice, just start some form of, even if it's not public YouTube, just start talking to people, start coaching people, start teaching people something. You will grow more, you grow faster. Start pouring into people. You will grow if you're pouring.
Okay.
So whatever volunteer thing you can do, because you don't want to sit on the knowledge, right? You don't want to sit on it. So, and the ultimate skill is communication skill, human to human connection. So anything you can do that you're connecting with people, you're serving people, you're touching lives in whatever capacity, do it more consistently. It will build you so that when you are ready to now sell, you will use that skill to sell.
So a follow-up question, and I'm all good. How do I now identify? Because from what I know, I pour into others, right? And it feels like who I pour into, like they're tired. I'm speaking of my family now. They're tired of hearing me talk. When they come back, oh, mommy, X, Y, Z happened.
Take it outside. No. Take it outside. I'm telling you, that's funny. Let me tell you, sometimes the people outside, there are things you can do for them. It's people you are doing life with, there are things you can do for them, but go to hungry people.
Okay.
Do you understand? People hungry for mentorship, people hungry for direction, people lost. And even this process of you trying to find these people will teach you marketing and sales, because no matter what you're selling, you will have to learn how to invite people, how to tell people to come and participate in anything. It's a skill you will have to master. Hi, Funke. Good to see you. Balogun, good to see you. This is actually wrap-up session. We've already done 2 hours, but you get my point. Like, many people want a straight line and they think, oh, even if I want to give people things for free, when I just tell them, come, they will show up. Mwah. Life will soon teach you this lesson. Okay? Is that even when you want to teach, because people will come and invest their time. So even if they're not investing money, they are investing their time and energy. And to get anybody today to come and give you their time and energy, you will learn what you have to do and say to invite people to show up. It's a skill. Okay? People only show up when you are giving value. Okay? So that's why this skill of inviting people, deciding what it is you want to do, maybe once a month or every week, you decide that. Who are those people? Where are they? How are you going to invite them? What is the setup? Is it Zoom? Is it this? Is it that? Figuring that out will teach you practical skills of business, even for whatever volunteer you want to do. you use it later, because many people don't start because come, nobody shows up. They think it's easy to get anybody to pay attention. Paying attention is pay. For people to pay attention, they are paying with their time and energy, just even if they're not paying with money. So you have to, in today's world, you have to make sure people find value. Okay? Everybody has to go back to business 101. I'm sharing business 101 now. Remember I said, God will give you value, you will give yourself value, then you will create value for the world. And then other people have to see your value, agree, and believe that it is valuable to them, useful to them. Based on their own decision, they will come to you. Right? And so even in the entrepreneurs space, that's why I talk about a lot of storytelling and everything, because people think, oh, you can just tell people come and no, it's not like that. You cultivate relationships, you sow a lot of seed, but don't give up, because that is a skill that would change your life forever if you can figure it out. Some people naturally have human, relational, interpersonal skill. Those are the people who do parties and social prefects and everything. It's like they are sociable. They're always inviting people to come and enjoy life, high life. What happens, and I once told a spiritual leader this, okay? She has a lot of great programs. However, because of how serious the topic is, she goes into the marketplace with so much seriousness and everybody runs away. Why? Because everybody is looking for party. They're not looking for hard labor. Even though this work is real work, you still have to put some fun into it to make it enjoyable, to ease it out, to make it funny, right? Even though we are here, you have to enjoy yourself. So that was one of the cultural shifts she has to learn to make, is that people will go, you must give your, hey, listen, most people are not looking for that. You first feed people, you do nice things to people. When their heart is now relaxed, then you can now tell them this hardcore message. So watch out for that, because those of us that are like hardcore, that's one of the things we have to learn, right? How to invite people to come and enjoy life, and how to make sure when you're teaching, when you're engaging, you're giving life to people. You're not, when they say give tithes, listen, the person who is saying give tithes, if that person too is tithes won't flow. I'm just using these communications. But if you are relaxed and you allow other people to be relaxed, actually energy flows in a relaxed laughing. When people are laughing, when people are happy, money flows better than if people say, ooh, I'm like, listen. But people may not understand these rules. These rules is that people spend more money when they are laughing, when they are happy, when they are relaxed. Money flows in that space than energy flows, and so money flows. But when people agitate people negatively, everybody's like on their toes, and it defeats the process. It defeats what people are trying to achieve anyway. That's why we need to teach. I need to teach that at the Prosperous Church. I'll find when to release that. Make sense? Yeah?
That was good. That was good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Let's wrap this up. God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye.